I'm out here visiting my parents in eastern Utah, by Colorado and Wyoming, out in the Uinta Basin. And I'm with my dad, and we decided we're going to process a chicken. So why don't you tell us why we're processing this chicken and how we got here?
When I was a kid, my dad would get, oh, I don't know, 50, 60 chickens every fall. Get them like this, buy them from the store. And then we would cut them all up. And he had a way that he cut them up. And it's a simple way to cut a chicken, but it makes the parts of a chicken kind of equal servings so that everybody doesn't fight over the breast piece of chicken.
You guys would buy you got your so Grandpa Smith or your dad would buy what, like 50, 60 of these, and
And
you would.
we'd cut them up all one afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. So what his idea of cutting chickens this way though was to have equal portions to pass out to people or to his family. So the chickens nowadays are different than they were 50 years ago or 60 years ago. The chickens are way more breast meat than they used to be. So I cut the breast a little bit different than my dad did because the pieces are much larger
Hmm.
than they used to be. So he used to cut the breast piece into 3 pieces to make them more equal to like a leg or a thigh. And I cut them probably in, oh, this one might be in 5 or 6 pieces because it's just chickens are fatter than they used to be or bigger. So let's kind of just go through and cut this chicken up.
Great. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of some pieces, like the wing piece doesn't. You don't keep this little chunk on the end, so we'll throw that away, or use it for stew meat. So I'm just cutting those off. So then you've got your wing, and I like to cut a little bit of meat off the wing so my wing has more. So there's a wing. So we'll put that in. Well, we'll just lay it over here so we can look at it. So there's 2 chicken wings. I might want to mention that my favorite part of a chicken when I eat it is the skin.
Ooh.
So when I don't want a chicken wing without the skin cooked on it because it has the flavor in it and the fat and it gets crisp. And so I like to cut the pieces as much as I can with skin on them.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's the most healthy, but it's the best. Okay, here comes off the thigh and the leg. So there's a thigh and a leg. And the leg joint on a chicken and other animals has a cut right about here where you can cut it. A lot of people cut it up here in the joint. And I don't know, just easier to cut down here. See, I lucked out and hit it that time. So there's a thigh and a leg. So we'll get the other side. So when I'm cutting this off, I'm trying again to get a little bit of the back meat. Otherwise, it's just wasted. And then again, I come down a little bit on the leg just because it's an easy cut. You don't have to be sawing the bone off. And then I missed it. There it goes. So there we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of chicken. And this, of course, would be the littlest piece. A lot of people don't like wings, but they're good.
So what would you, when you guys processed, when you and your father were processing 50 of these, you would piece them out like this and then you would freeze them?
Yeah, then we'd put them in bags with 1 chicken in, or sometimes he'd put 2 or 3 chickens in a bag. Like the family probably didn't get by with 1 chicken at a meal. We had 5 kids and mom and dad, so he might put 2 in a bag. But you could put them in 1 bag and then you'd always know. Okay, so this is the breast. It has most of the meat of the chicken. This is the back, and it has the least meat, but it has a lot of meat, and it's good. So it's good for stewing, but not to set on the table fried. So I just kind of cut right down through the ribs I don't care if the ribs are on the breast or not. And if you cut a chicken this way, you do not get a chicken, what's that called? The piece of bone that is a wishing bone that you break. All you guys done that?
Oh, the wishbone.
The wishbone. You don't get that because I break it right here. Or most commercial chickens have the wishbone. Okay, so that's our stew meat. And I don't think you get enough chicken off one chicken to make stew. Okay, so this is a big piece of meat. Let's look at this inside part. So this inside part has a big breastbone right here. And Dad always cut that out. So I'm going to make a, I don't know if you can see. I got to be careful not to cut myself on camera. And he would make a cut across here and then break this bone out. Since this chicken's bigger, this might be tough. But we'll battle with it and see what happens.
So the breastbone is separating the two breasts in the middle.
It's holding the two pieces together, and we want it separated. So I'm going to see if I can make this cut right and get this breastbone out. It would be easier on a tinier chicken. I might let Nathan do this. So you push down here, and you try to pop that bone. I'll cut it here. Pop up right out of the breast. So if you can see, this bone needs to pop up, and this down.
This one down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring that right out.
Pull it right out.
Yep, yep. You can make noise. Try to leave the meat on the chicken instead of the bone. Okay, good, good. You got it.
Do you try to take this?
Take it right out. Keep it going your way. Just flip it right over. Yep, yep, yep. So there's not much meat left on that, and it's out of the way of our cutting the chicken. Okay, so my dad would cut right across here and get one piece for the breast, but this breast is very big, so we'll separate this. But there's a kind of a joint down there where you can cut through and have the top of your chicken. Now I think this piece is too big to give to one of my kids. See how that would be one piece? Then he would split this piece. So let's do that. The chickens were much different. You can't buy a chicken without too big, without this big of a breast. So that's the way my dad would cut a chicken. But this piece would be about the size of a thigh.
So a serving.
A serving, yeah. But let's cut this in half. Now, a lot of people nowadays expect to get a piece of meat without a bone in it. But animals have bones, and this chicken has bones. So there's bones in every piece. So that's the top part of the breast. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is always my debate. Is this one piece of chicken that's extra big for somebody? Or should we half these and make 4 pieces out of this? And I'm gonna half them.
Okay. I could eat one whole piece.
Yeah, you could. But then whoever picks this piece is ripped off.
Yeah.
So I'll cut these in half so you have to eat 2 pieces. Same with this one. Okay, so I've got skin on most of this, which I like. That's my favorite piece of meat, is the skin. And what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces of chicken for our meal. And that's the way Dad cut them. We just put these into we didn't have plastic bags back then. We had to wrap all these in butcher paper.
All right, we've just processed this chicken. Let's walk through all the parts and pieces that we've got.
Okay, so we have, this closest to me is the breast of the chicken, and we've cut it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. It was a big breasted chicken, so that's our 6 pieces of the breast.
And the goal here is to have
kind of equal portions for each person. So this piece would compare to a drumstick. So here's our 2 drumsticks from the chicken.
And those are the chicken legs.
Chicken legs right there.
Okay.
And these 2 are the thighs. Now they tend to be the kind of the biggest piece here, and a lot of people like thighs because they're more juicy. There they are. Now the wing, when I cut the wing off, I mentioned this before, I cut an extra bite or 2 of the breast off with the wing. So that makes that a fairly big piece of chicken. Now when we get chicken wings to just as finger food, they cut this bigger part of the wing off from the lower part, and so that's 2 pieces of wing.
So you've got the flat and the drumstick.
Yeah, this is the flat, this is the drumstick of the wing. This is the real drumstick.
Gotcha.
I don't remember, back in the day there were no such thing as chicken wings.
You didn't have Buffalo Wild Wings?
No such thing, no, that I knew of. So that's our whole chicken except for the back, which is going to be stew meat. Well, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kind of equal good pieces of chicken.
All right, so now we've got all our chicken parts cut up. What are we gonna do with this chicken?
Well, we're going to dress the chicken a little bit. We won't go over that on this video because we'll do it later, but we're going to take a Dutch oven and an open fire, maybe get some coals and cook this chicken till it's awesome.
Sweet. I'm excited.
Me too.
Let's do it.